Hi, I'm out canoeing in the marsh today, but you can actually see all the plants and animals around me directly from our cypress boardwalk trail. So I am parked in a stand of sawgrass. I know that this emergent vegetation is sawgrass because it has very sharp saw-like teeth up and down its leaves. Please don't touch this plant as you walk on the trail. It can cut you. But you can also notice sometimes you'll see eggs laid on the sawgrass. They might either be these white, larger eggs, or sometimes you might see smaller but more numerous bubblegum pink eggs. Both of these egg clusters were laid by apple snails, but two different species. So these white eggs were laid by our native Florida apple snail, but these pink eggs were laid by an invasive species, the channeled apple snail. Let me show you what their shells look like as adults. So our native Florida apple snail is quite small. It only gets about the size of a golf ball, whereas the channeled apple snail gets significantly larger, about the size of a baseball. It's called a channeled apple snail because it has this deep groove in the whorl of its shell, whereas our native snail does not. Apple snails are extremely important to the food web out here at Grassy Waters Preserve. Many different creatures eat apple snails, but most importantly, our mascot bird, the Everglades snail kite, relies solely on apple snails for its food supply. Speaking of predators, I'm going to reach down and grab one of the most interesting predators you can find out here at Grassy Waters. That's right, it's a plant. So obviously plants aren't normally predators, but this is a carnivorous plant. This plant is called bladderwort because it has air-filled sacs or bladders all along its stem, and it uses those bladders to catch prey. We're talking little things like tiny crustaceans, zooplankton, mosquito larvae. And the way it does that, when something meaty and delicious swims past and touches one of those bladders, it triggers the trapdoor in the bladder to open. A massive amount of suction pulls in the prey item, trapdoor closes, and the plant has its meal. From the boardwalk, you might notice bladderwort by tiny little purple or yellow flowers. So thank you for joining me out here. I hope to see you out on the Cypress Boardwalk soon.